Hey, what's going on? Appreciate you for tuning in and stumbling into my channel. Hopefully you like it here. You decide to come back, check out another video. So with this video, I want to talk about my Patriots. It's been a tough season. It really has. It's had some highs, not enough, some lows, too much, and we're only halfway through. So bear with me. It's not even so much about the product on the field because I feel like I've been prepared for what I'm seeing on TV. Got a rookie quarterback and get some good with some bad. Have a roster that is not the most talented. Once again, you get some good, you get some bad, you get some downright frustrating. So with that, winning is not a premium this year. At least I thought it wasn't. Yet when I see some fans after some of these Patriots games, it's kind of mixed messages. So my first question is, what exactly do you want, Patriots fans? And not all of you. Some of you are reasonable, but some of you, I don't get it. Like, you're not happy unless you're miserable. So Jerod Mayo comes in. And mind you, this was after like 2 seasons of people wanting Bill Belichick gone because the last 3-4 years weren't up to standard for them. That's what happens when you have 20 plus years of greatness with Brady. I get that. So they move on from him. They're bringing Jerod Mayo. Okay. As we learned, Robert Kraft knew a few years ago that Jerod Mayo was the type of guy that he could have succeed Bill Belichick, which is not an easy job. Bill Belichick's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest. They always say the person following them has the toughest job because you have to deal with the expectations. Now, maybe the expectations, because Belichick hung on a couple of more years that weren't so successful, maybe it's a bit easier, but it's still going to be a tough task. But it's almost like Jerod Mayo can't win with some of you. And it's starting to become a problem with me. It really is. Because he's a first-time head coach. We get that. He should be given the opportunity to develop into being whatever head coach he is. We know he's defensive minded. We get that. And in 2024, that's not always the best direction to go in. But it's the direction Robert Kraft decided to go in. You would think, as a fan, you would want him to succeed. Once again, some of you don't, for various reasons. Now, look, if you didn't like the hire, cool, as long as you have a legit reason. Once again, I've seen some reasons for not liking the hire. Doesn't fly with me. Now, you might be wondering, what am I talking about? I've seen social media where they say, this is what you get when you make a statement hire in Jerod Mayo. Some of you, that may not, sound like much of anything, but not necessarily language that I like. Because by making it seem like he was just a statement hire means he's only hired because he's a minority and Robert Kraft is trying to make a point. I mean, come on. Like, he made the unpopular decision bringing in Belichick the first time. People hated that. Then he started winning and everybody loved it. So why can't Jerod Mayo, I'm not going to say he's going to be Bill Belichick, so calm down. You can calm down. But how do we know he isn't a good coach? You're judging him. Once again, all stuff that we knew going into the season, because of the past few drafts and everything, lack of free agents coming in, not a talented roster, but for some reason, to some of you, Jerod Mayo is supposed to have this team at 6-2 instead of 2-6. Seems unreasonable. They draft Drake May. They drafted him 3rd overall, but to some of you, it was, Mayo and Wolf, who's been thrown into this as well, settled on him. They didn't actually want him. If they didn't want him, they wouldn't have taken him. You didn't have to take a quarterback at 3. But once again, a lot of y'all wanted them to take a quarterback at 3 because if they took another position of need, like left tackle or something, you were going to riot because that's a boring pick. But they took a guy. Now, for some of you, they didn't get the guy that they wanted. They just settled. Sure. So then he doesn't start the season. They said they're going to wait. They have a plan in place. To some of you, had a problem with that. You wanted them to just throw him out there, even though you said the line was no good, receivers were no good, running backs are just but you wanted them to throw the rookie out there. Fine. I'm not even mad about that. Cool. Once again, I was on the side of, so what if they wait? You're not trying to win a Super Bowl this year. What's the problem? Eventually he does start. He plays kind of well. Same people popping up again. Well, this is why you should have started him week 1 instead of week 4? Week 4 or 5. Once again, it just seems like you're just trying to find something to be upset about. So then he starts whatever, and even the other part was, well, why throw him out there now? You're just going to get him killed. And mind you, the first game against the Texans, he took some hits. Sure. But he was going to. Got him out the way. The past game against the Jets, he was sliding after scrambling, got hit in the back of his head, went to concussion protocol. Things like that happen. It was a bit of a late hit from the Jets, wasn't called, but hey, whatever. And now we are midway through the season. They're 2-6. They just beat the Jets, which should be something to celebrate. But then here it comes again, the negative people. Why are we winning now? Because now you're just going to mess up draft positioning for next season. My overarching point is, pick a lane, stick with it, and just be reasonable with what you want. It's like sometimes you want them to win, then you don't. You want them to be competitive, but then you don't because you want Jerod Mayo fired, even though he's only been 8 games that he's been coaching. A lot of them who say it was a statement hire say they don't like the process because they didn't really do a search, when several times through several years of being an NFL fan, we'll see them bring in Eric Bieniemy just to satisfy the Rooney Rule, to then turn around and hire the guy they actually want. So because Robert Kraft did it the opposite way, went to Jerod Mayo, made him the coach, you have a problem with it. If that was it, and look, let me back up. I'm starting to get ahead of myself. A lot of you also say the Rooney Rule is trash because it forces them to interview somebody they don't actually want. So once again, if Robert Kraft had tabbed Jerod Mayo as the next guy to take over, why do this song and dance and bring in somebody that you wanted? Which I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments, who did you actually want to get this job? I know I've heard Mike Vrabel. To be honest with you, sure, I wouldn't mind if you had Mike Vrabel in here. Maybe Mike Vrabel didn't want the job. We don't know. Maybe he was never asked. Who cares? They picked Jerod Mayo. As a fan, you'd like to think you'd want him to succeed. But for whatever reason, a select portion of you don't. I guess to prove the point that he's not qualified, he's not this, he's not that. Which, once again, there could be some underlying reasons for it. I'm not pointing any fingers, but yeah. So he called his team out before the Jets game, called them soft. A lot of you wanted to get on him and say he's not taking accountability, he's in over his head, he's this, he's that. Did you see how that team played against the Jets? Do they look like a team that's tuning him out or sick of him? No. They went out there against a divisional rival who have their own issues. Granted, they have their own issues in New York, but New York was a touchdown favorite on the road in New England. That tells you what Vegas and everybody thought about this. Very easily could have been a game that they laid down, showed no effort, showed no heart, just to appease all of you who want Jerod Mayo and Elliott Wolf gone. But it didn't happen. They got a win. didn't satisfy you because you want them to lose, once again, to prove your point. So for me, has Jerod Mayo had a perfect first season as a head coach? No. So do most people. Remember Bill Belichick's first season as a coach? Wasn't he terrible in Cleveland? Then that was not what he became. He became a great coach. I mean, looking around at first-time coaches now, you got what? Canales in Carolina stinks. You have Callahan, Tennessee. It's not going well. Got to give these guys a transition. Now, yes, Michael McDonald over in Seattle, they're an okay team, but not every situation's the same. And I feel like as Patriots fans, we need to be reasonable. Tune in. Look, if you don't like it, don't watch them. Wait until when you feel like they've done enough to appease you to watch them, then watch them. But if you're gonna tune in just to sit there and simmer in hatred for Jerod Mayo, hoping he fails miserably, keep it to yourself. Don't need to see it on social media. Plain and simple. So, yeah, like I said, went over the Jets. Loved every second of it. Because now New York fans are losing their mind. And I don't care if the Patriots lose every single game left on the schedule. The fact that one win was against the Jets and sent them down the spiral that they're going down right now is a win for me. Not going to lie. I love seeing it. Love seeing Aaron Rodgers be pouty. Love New York media like Greeny and those guys on ESPN and all that lose their mind. I'm just loving it. So, yeah. Enjoy the season. Like, just look at the talent on the field. Cheer for some guys and hope Mayo, Wolf have a legit plan to bring in talent, make this team better. Like, if you want to have this conversation again next season at this point, we can do that. But for this year, it's not fair. It's not. The current state of this roster, you tell me who would win at a high percentage with this group, and then we can have that conversation about Jerod Mayo failing. But until you can come up with a name, let's keep it real. So, all right, that's all I got. Patriots got the Titans this weekend. Hopefully they can get it done. They're the underdog going into Tennessee. So we'll see. We'll see how that game plays out. I should have a kind of post-game reaction video either later Sunday or most likely coming out on Monday. But if you enjoyed the video, or enjoyed this episode, I should say, I would love if you give me a like, follow, or subscribe, depending on the platform. And Discord will be in the description. Make sure you go there. That way you can chat with me when I'm watching, whether it's the Celtics, Patriots, the Bruins. I mean, I guess the Red Sox when they come back, like whoever, watching whatever college game or anything like that. Like, all fans are welcome. It's not just, New England sports. I do watch other teams. So feel free to come on in. We can talk about your team during the game. Have a lot of fun. All right. So with that, enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. God bless. And I'll see you in the next video. All right. I'm out. Bye.